Welcome into the Big Little Podcast, everybody. I'm your host, Patrick Previty. That is Andrew Greig. Today, we're going to be drafting all-time greatest March Madness players, and then we're going to have a names draft for the current college basketball players. But first, today is Selection Sunday. The stage is set for the rest of March. Andrew, do you have any problems with what the committee decided for this bracket?
Yeah, so I think the one glaring one and the one that everyone's kind of jumping all over and the one that I will continue to jump all over is UNC being in the bracket. Obviously, they were the last team in. There's a little bit of conflicting reports on how much influence that the head overseer of brackets, who's also the AD at UNC, had like over just them getting in general. But UNC just wasn't a very good team this year. That speaks for like all of the ACC. Obviously, we harped on that last episode. But UNC was 1-12 in quad one games. They were just like had a very up and down season. They lost to Duke 3 times, which doesn't happen very often for a UNC team. They lost to Duke without Cooper Flagg, no less, in the ACC championship. And you can say whatever you want about the lane violation, but they shouldn't have. That game wasn't a game until they brought it back, and there's no way that a Duke team missing 2 of its best players should be able to beat up on a UNC team that should be making the tournament, or whatever you want to say about that team. So just in general, UNC probably wasn't deserving of a spot in the tournament this year, and there's 68 teams, so there's always a little bit of leeway. Not every time you're going to get it exactly right, but they probably should have been one of the first 4 out. And the fact that they were the last team in, and there was a little bit of a sway that people were saying, I think it's just a little insane. 1-12 in quad one shouldn't really get you anywhere. So I mean that's my personal take on it.
Yeah, I'm actually glad that you mentioned the 1-12 in quad one games. Indiana 4-13 versus quad one. West Virginia 6-10 versus quad one. Ohio State 6-11 versus quad one. Obviously, all of those are better than what UNC had. According to the committee, North Carolina was officially the last team in the field, as you mentioned, on the latest bracket matrix featuring 111 bracketologists. West Virginia was in all 111 brackets. Indiana was in 90, Texas in 50, Xavier in 30, North Carolina in 27, for what it's worth, right? So we're in agreement there. I think the other issue that I had with the bracket was Louisville. They, in my opinion, were ranked just too low, or seated too low, rather, at seeded 8 in their part of the bracket. Seed of the last AP number 13 teams entering Selection Sunday. Number 3 for Illinois in 2024, 4 for Virginia in 23, 4 for UCLA in 22, 3 Texas 21. And then I think you kind of get the point. Nobody lower than 5 over the last 13 years, going all the way back to Georgetown, who was seeded number 3 when they were the AP number 13 team entering Selection Sunday. So I just think that I don't know what happened with the ACC whenever it came to North Carolina sneaking in, but also at the same time, the Cardinal suffered an unfortunate seeding, in my opinion, because now they're going to draw 1 seed in the second round potentially of the tournament if they make it that far.
Yeah, and it's not like they did anything wrong. They beat Clemson in the ACC tournament. They lost against Duke, but Duke is the best team in that conference. Obviously, I just mentioned UNC. I gave UNC a little bit of flack for losing to Duke without Cooper Flagg, so they deserve a little bit as well. But I mean, they just beat the number 10 team in the country in Clemson. They had a good ACC tournament. Obviously, the Stanford game wasn't probably shouldn't have been as close as it was, but still, Louisville shouldn't. I feel like it's pretty consensus that Louisville shouldn't have to play the number 1 seed in their portion of the bracket in the second round. So just unfortunate for them. Definitely unfortunate luck of the draw for them.
And same thing for Auburn too, right? Because we're thinking that Louisville is definitely better than an 8 seed, and now they will have to go play an 8 seed that could potentially have been a 4 seed somewhere at any other part of this bracket, or maybe in a later round for them. So it works both ways, right? At the same time, when we're talking about the ACC, maybe potentially getting a team in that shouldn't have been in, and then another team that was ranked too low. Same thing for Auburn having to play Louisville, just as Louisville doesn't want to play Auburn in the second round. So round of 32 matchup that potentially neither team would have liked to draw, but it's just the reality of it. Okay, so we're going to get into everything for this bracket later on next week, right before all of the tournament games start. We're going to pick everything. We're going to compare our brackets, see who's right, see who's wrong, do a kind of a whole thing on that on the next video, on the next podcast. Okay, but first, we're going to do an all-time March Madness players draft. So here's how this is going to go. I'm going to have the first overall pick. You're going to have the second pick, and then we're going to snake draft it. So then you'd have the third. I'd have the fourth. We're each going to pick 12 players. This is based off of their March Madness performance alone. So we're kind of pushing aside conference tournament runs as well. We're just going to focus on the March Madness tournament. We're going to pick one coach to coach each of our squads up, and then we're going to take one player that is currently playing in college basketball, similar to a Christian Laettner on Team USA Dream Team or Anthony Davis on the 2012 team. We're going to do it like that. So we'll have 13 total players. Okay. Do you understand the rules, Andrew?
I think I do.
You've been prepping for this today. You threw out some names earlier. We talked a little bit about it. We have separate banks of names. I have not seen his name bank. We got separate, kept that away from each other. It's separate. And I threw out some names, and I was like, yeah, that guy ain't getting drafted on my team. So hopefully you've done your research. Obviously, I have the first pick. I don't really know if there's any other player that I can go for and, not get hated on because I didn't choose this guy who I'm about to take right now. I'm going to go with Kemba Walker of UConn. It'll be hopefully a theme of my team. We got rings. Kemba Walker, an amazing run, one of the best that we've ever seen, and in my opinion, the best I think that we've ever seen. And obviously that starts from the conference tournament, 9 losses. They kind of needed that run to get into the NCAA tournament, and they just went on an absolute tear. Kemba Walker is going to be my point guard.
I like that pick. I have no gripes on it. He's in my top 2. But he wasn't my number 1 because this was my number 1. I'm glad you took Kemba Walker. My first overall pick is going to be Christian Laettner out of Duke, his 1991 to 92 season, the season where he eclipsed 400 points, the only player still to this day to eclipse over 400 points in total during March Madness. He hit 407 points. Again, nobody has even eclipsed the 400 point number. He was obviously the most outstanding player. He won Duke won the national championship that year. And then also just 2-time back-to-back national championship in 91 and 92. Obviously, we're going individual seasons here. So just Christian Laettner in general, I'll take the 91 to 92 season. Most outstanding player, just one of the better March Madness runs we've ever seen. And just an absolutely dominant run and eclipsing 400 points. That doesn't happen. Clearly, he's the only person to ever do it. So Christian Laettner is going to be my 1-1.
Also, he's got the shot, 10 for 10 from the line, 10 for 10 from the field, and the shot to beat Kentucky. That was a pretty memorable game. Perfect game. So that's a great pick. Honestly, I can't argue with that either, but I just know people watching may have said Kemba Walker first, but good pick nonetheless, and I'm mad that you got him.
Yeah, and moving on, I'm kind of staying in like the oldies but goodies type of phase. Bill Walton, 1972 to 1973. I needed to take him. He was going to be off the board by the next time it came around. He had 44 points in the national championship game, absolutely dominant throughout all of March Madness, that March Madness run. I know we're just talking about March, but if you just look at his career achievements when he played at UCLA, he had he continued an 88 game win streak for the UCLA Bruins. It was one of the time where, they're winning a bunch of national championships. Obviously they have 17 plus at this point. He was a 2-time national champion at Duke. And if we're just going individual seasons, 72 to 73 has to be the season because of the fact that he put up 44 in the national championship game. But UCLA was absolutely unstoppable. I mean, and he led those teams. Bill Walton has to be my second overall pick. So Christian Laettner and Bill Walton.
You got a heck of a front court going.
I do.
And you're right. Bill Walton probably would have been off the board if you had, circled back to your pick here at 6? Yeah, that's good math. 4 and 5 are my pick. I'm just going to have to combat that. Honestly, total block move because there's no way that I'm going to allow you to have any of those guys coming off of your bench. I got to go with Lou Alcindor, UCLA.
Okay.
He 3-time, I believe he's a 3-time Wooden Award winner. And then also at the same time, you can pick any of those years. He's got 3 rings as well. So give me the other UCLA big. I think that might be a good pick. I like him with Kemba Walker. Those runs that each of them had were really great. I don't know what year I would really take from his career, but it doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
I don't think. Yeah. Okay. So I got you down for Bill Walton and Christian Laettner.
Yep.
Bill Walton and Christian Laettner, man.
Crazy front court.
Yeah, that is a crazy front court. Okay. Writing this down to keep track of everything. So the next pick, I got a lot to deal with here. I mean, we got a lot of greats. We got some guys who potentially only really did it for 1 year that I'm looking at as well. Oh, man.
You could go a lot of places here, and I really don't want you to go one specific place, but you can. Remember, I have big guys. You might want to guard that if we're playing 1-on-1.
Oh, man. Oh, I might end up drafting a crazy team. This is where things could get kind of weird for my team. I'm so sorry I'm taking long on this pick.
You're good. You're
I'm
good.
looking. There's so many options on this list, but there's some of these guys probably I'm between 3 names right now that I could take this team in a completely different direction. I'm gonna go with Carmelo Anthony.
No,
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Melo.
that is the one. That is
Yeah,
the
just
one.
because strictly we're talking about March, and I just think that Syracuse run was unbelievable, and
As a
potentially he
freshman,
gets left off of Mount Rushmore's a lot, but God, great one and done. I mean, if there's a book on how to be a one and done, Carmelo Anthony wrote it. So give me Carmelo Anthony.
okay.
Ooh,
I
I got a
see you
team.
with
Okay.
Carmelo Anthony. Need some defense on this team. Need some offense too. I'll take both in this next pick. You want to make one UConn run? I'll make the other. Shabazz Napier, 2014. Number 7 seed, leads them to a national championship, averages 21-4-4. Most outstanding player during that tournament. 7 seeds don't win national championships. UConn does, apparently. Great overall, not great overall team. Shabazz Napier had a great overall run. 21 points during March, 21-4-4 during March. Great defensive player as well. It was a Kemba-esque run, probably like the second coming of a Kemba run. So I mean, I see you with Kemba. I raise you Shabazz Napier. I maybe not raise you, but I really like the Shabazz Napier pick.
And that's how a lot of people will look at it. So I completely respect that move. They're going to now start comparing the rest of our teams. And that was my first pick to your 7th pick, or to the total of the draft 7th pick.
Yeah.
6th pick.
Yeah, 6th pick.
Yeah. Sorry, I didn't have it written down. Okay, you got Shabazz, Napier, Christian Laettner, and Bill Walton, and you also got the next pick.
I do have the next pick.
Oh,
Patrick Ewing, Georgetown. One of the greatest defenders of all time. I know he's probably gonna have to come off my bench. I'm gonna need a point guard at some point here. But front courts win you championships, defense win you championship. He was an elite defender, 3-time national champion. So I mean, you can choose whatever one of those years if you're gonna choose individually. Just insane run. Shut down Hakeem Olajuwon in 1984. One of the great runs at Georgetown. Great team. Patrick Ewing was the centerpiece of that team. Give me Patrick Ewing. Come on, give me Patrick Ewing.
Yeah, you made a really good pick there. I respect that a lot. Okay. That was good. And I might have some guys that need to be on this bench that I don't have on my list right now that I'm looking. I'm trying to. You sent me for a little bit of a loop getting Patrick Ewing. That's really good. That is really, really good. I don't want to go with guys too young. Like guys who are one and dones. I don't want to do that.
I kind of left the younger guys towards the end of my draft, just hoping it would snake around, but I need some depth early.
Wow. That was a good pick. Especially just the Hakeem Olajuwon angle, I think, too. You know, I got some other guys on here. I think I'm going to go with just a little bit of a curveball here.
Okay, let's hear it.
I'm struggling because I don't know if I want to completely go this route. I'm going to go with Danny Manning.
Okay. On my list.
Yep.
My list.
NCAA champion 1988. He was the Final Four most outstanding player, college basketball player of the year as well. He was 2-time consistent first team All-American. Great run. He's got a ring. Give me that. Shout out Kansas. Okay, Danny Manning is somebody who I think needs to be respected. They often forget how great of a run he had, especially since he got drafted to the Clippers. So what are you gonna do about that, right? And that gives me like my team is still pretty big right now too, though. Just comparing it to yours.
Yeah.
I kind of have some names here that I might want to go with, but I'm gonna go. I think almost I need to avoid going elsewhere here. I'm gonna go with I don't want to start overthinking it right now. There's still some
Yeah.
really great players on this list. Give me Magic Johnson.
No, not Magic. I swear both of the times it snaked around, I was gonna choose the you took Melo and Magic from me. Good pick.
Yeah. Oh yeah, okay. Yeah, I mean Magic Johnson, Michigan State. I mean, just an amazing run as well. Also, I got a guy on my team. What?
You'll see when my next pick is. I'll take the other angle of that.
I got a guy on my team who proceeded to be Finals MVP 1 year later. So I think that my team's in good hands, and the version of that individual who was the year before.
Yep. One angle you didn't mention of that is the fact that he played Larry Bird in the national championship that year. Larry Bird is my pick. I know I'm staying big here. I have to. He averaged 27 and 14 in 1979. He obviously Indiana State versus that Michigan State team played in the national championship. Obviously, you got the winner of that matchup. I have the runner up. I was going to take them back to back if you didn't take Magic Johnson. Larry Bird on my team, one of the greatest shooters of all time. He averaged 27 and 14 in that run. Give me Larry Bird.
That was just not going to happen. There was no possible way that I was going to be able to come around and take Larry Bird on top of Magic Johnson. Like, there was no way I was going to get both of those players. So Great pick.
I appreciate you. And then I'll go. I'm between two. I need a guard here. Man, I don't want to give you anything here either. We were talking about this a little bit earlier. Marquise Noel. I know it's a little bit of an out there pick, but if you go through the list of great all-time runs, they only made it to the Elite Eight, as a team, Kansas State did. But it was must-watch TV. One of the better recent runs in 2023, Marquise Noel had a game where he had 20 plus and then 19 assists. One of the greatest assist game of all time. He averaged over 20 and 10 for that tournament. If we're talking about individual tournaments, Marquise Noel has to be on that list somewhere. And I have so many great bigs on this team. I need a facilitator. I need somebody who can get 19 assists in a national tournament game. And he's the only one who's ever done that. So I'm taking Marquise Noel to be my point guard.
Good pick. Really good pick. And that is still what this draft is about. We are still drafting runs by certain players in March Madness. So if you want to compare that guy to whatever Larry Bird or Magic Johnson did in their NBA career, that's not the point. It's in this stretch. And in that stretch, Marquise Noel played like an all-time great. So great pick. But when I compare my team to your team, you got something I don't have.
Okay.
And it's shooting.
Yep.
And there's the greatest shooter of all time. I mean, potentially
still
while he was in college.
Those were the two. It was Marquise Noel and Steph Curry.
If you had chosen Steph Curry and Larry Bird, I don't know if my team would have been able to recover.
Okay.
There's some guys on this list. There's some good shooters on this list, but Steph Curry averaged 32 points per game and shot 44% from three when Davidson went to the Elite Eight in 2008. Give me Steph Curry.
Yeah, it was between them two. I had a little bit of the shooting. I need a facilitator. I have so many great players on this team. I went Marquise Noel, but those were, when I said there were two in mind, Steph Curry was the other one. I needed a point guard. It was going to be one of those two. So good pick. Great pick.
So now, okay, I got a good squad here, but Danny Manning 6'10", Magic Johnson 6'9", Melo 6'8", 6'9". Kemba and Steph Curry, they're both point guards, really. They're not big at all. I need some defense. Okay. And I don't care if I'm lacking in experience. You got Patrick Ewing, Bill Walton, and Christian Laettner down low. I need to be able to handle that. Give me Anthony Davis. He had a great year. You penciled in Kentucky when you were making your entire bracket in 2012. to go all the way down and win it all. And that's exactly what they did. And he didn't have an offensive game back then.
Mm-hmm.
It was strictly defense. The unibrow was out. It was real then. Give me Anthony Davis. Potentially passed up a few different all-time bigs, but
that is the risk you take playing a draft game like this.
Yes.
Okay. I have a lot of size on this team. I would like to go back to guard tier, shooting guard specifically. Where does Buddy Hield fit on this list for you? Another great run. Obviously, they only made it to the Final Four. I want winners, but I have winners, and I don't need every single player on this team to have gone and won a national championship. He dropped 37 points versus Oregon in the Elite Eight. He was the best team on that Oklahoma 2016 team. Averaged 25 and 5 that year, 46% from three. Can I interest you in that if we're talking about shooting? One of the greatest shooting runs like we've ever seen. So. Didn't win the national championship, but made a Final Four run. I need another guard. I'll take Buddy Hield.
That was a great pick. He's up there too. There's so many really good shooters. I mean, we're gonna get to it potentially at the very end of this bench when we try to like punch up our teams a little bit when we get to the 11 and 12 men on our squads. But yeah, great pick. When I'm looking over here, I'm keeping track of both of our teams and I'm crossing off guys that were on the list. So can't argue with that.
Yeah, okay. I'm looking through this list now. It's getting a little bit scarce. I don't think either of us have done this yet. Oscar Robertson?
Whoa, yeah, you went back. I didn't really know how far we were going back. I got another guy on here that he didn't really do a ton, I think, postseason wise. But Oscar Robertson?
Yeah.
Okay. What did he do in the tournament? I need to double check.
He made a Final Four run with Cincinnati, a team that shouldn't have been there. So I mean, all-time great NBA player. Like I know we're not translating these, but like he still made a Final Four run. Was a dominant player on that team. I'll take Oscar Robertson.
Yeah. All right. That's fair. That's a good pick.
One of the like less glamorous picks of that I've done, but I mean, I'll take it.
Yeah. Hey, that's not bad at all. I mean, if we're going to go back that far, I don't really think it's all that bad of a pick, like whatsoever. Like, I think that's a great pick. You literally have me looking at Bill Russell's Wikipedia right now because I am looking at Bill Russell and Wilt Chamberlain because there's no shot that I'm just going to let both of those guys go this far down and not take like both of them.
Yeah.
Like
I do it.
But I feel, he led USF to NCAA championships in 55 and 56, including a string of 55 consecutive victories, a 26 point, 27 rebound, 20 block performance in one game against actual business majors. That sounds pretty great. John Wooden called Russell the greatest defensive man I've ever seen.
We're talking about Bill Russell.
Yeah, we're talking about Bill Russell. But remember, I have back-to-back picks here now.
Yeah.
Because we did this very dumb and we did a snake draft. What did Wilt Chamberlain do in college as well? But no, I feel like this is almost defeating the purpose of this this exercise.
Mm-hmm.
He went to Kansas. Yes, indeed. Led the Jayhawks to the 1957 NCAA final.
Okay, so those are your two.
What did he do in college, though? Did he have those great runs? Because some of these guys, remember, they're playing up above what you might think.
If those are your two, we want to go past. I'm gonna bring it back present here, and I think I have two good ones that you'll like.
All right. I mean, shoot, I'll go with Bill Russell and Wilt. Go with Bill and Wilt. I was not planning on doing that when we came in, but I kind of just like ignored before Bill Walton.
How many do we have each?
12 or 13. We have one current.
Yeah, but like how what are we at right now?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 for me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 for you. You have Leitner, Walton, Shabazz Napier, Patrick Ewing, Larry Bird, Marquise Noel, Buddy Hield, Oscar Robertson.
Okay, I love that team.
My team literally looks like a like NBA Hall of Famers right now. So I'm gonna
Yeah.
clean this. I'm cleaning this up when we get like.
Okay,
That's it. That was it for me.
that's not the
The
point.
Bill Russell, Will Chamberlain thing was just I didn't want anybody to have to say that, and I double checked. I only came in here with Bill Walton and passed.
Okay,
You launched that for me. I blame you.
I'll take accountability.
Yeah, I got some
for it,
guys
and
on this list that need to go though.
I'll
They
bring
need
us
to be
back.
cool.
Jalen Brunson is my next pick. That Villanova team, absolutely insane. 2018, most outstanding player. Come on, of the entire tournament. Just
Good pick.
come on, Jalen Brunson. Obviously, we know him now as one of the Knicks stars, but that Villanova team doesn't go without Jalen Brunson. So I'll take Jalen Brunson on that team. And the only thing I don't like about this, right? And it's like it defeats the whole purpose of the exercise. Low key.
Oh,
Very
are
low
you
key.
going with?
I don't know. I have no idea who you're gonna say. Probably not the same guy I'm thinking of.
Okay.
He got second rounded. I don't know if that helps at all.
Oh, I know who you're talking about. Yeah, now I know who you're talking about.
KD.
You're going with KD? I thought you were gonna go with Jack Golke.
No, Jack Wilkie's on that list for me. I mean, I think I have one more pick after this. So
yeah, you have 2 more picks after this.
okay. So
All right.
I mean, he got second rounded, but he was the Big 12 player of the year that year. Averaged 25 and 11, 3 blocks a game. Kevin Durant, one of the all-time NCAA basketball players. I mean, maybe not a crazy March Madness run,
No,
but
not at all. No,
yeah,
not at all. This is where I get you. This is where I win.
he had 30 and 9 in his last game. And there's only so many. What you get to play a max of 6 games during March Madness. He had 2, and he had a good 2. So 30. Can I interest you in 39? Can that be?
Yeah, sure. Yeah. But I got a guy who averaged 34.8 points per game on Purdue's trip to the Elite 8 in 2019. Give me Carson Edwards. And I get it. It is a shame that he fell this low. And we're not trying to do it like this. This was not the original intention, but we have taken this draft and we have molded it. And at this point, he goes right after Bill Russell and Wilt Chamberlain on my squad. And if you're curious, that is 3 point guards, all under 6'3", and then Magic Johnson for on my team. We have a floor spacing issue. We're going to need a coach, a big time coach. And it's coming up because we get to choose 2 out of all time. So we'll figure it out. Okay, give me Carson Edwards. And then for my next pick, and we're getting almost to the very end, I got 10 players on my squad. I'm going to go with, okay, so I'm just going to start throwing out names now because at this point, here's who I've been thinking about.
Okay.
There are some dudes on this list.
We can do like an honorable mention
list.
We can do.
Yeah, we will definitely have to do an honorable mentions.
Okay.
Tyler Hansborough, I'm thinking. Frank Kaminsky, I'm thinking, but my front court's a little too loaded. I need a guard. I don't even think I have a shooting guard on my team.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'm taking him above some other players here, but I'm gonna go with Dwayne Wade.
Okay. I don't hate it at all. That Marquette team doesn't come on. Dwayne Wade was the star of that show. I feel like that's where he started getting the nickname Flash. Yeah, I mean, as a Heat fan, I have no gripes if anybody's ever taken Dwayne Wade.
I just feel like there's a couple guys on this list that I'm ignoring, and I don't mean to do it, and it hurts me to not pick them, but things just went awry around the Oscar Robertson pick. So,
and I'm going to take it back to the past. Unfortunately, there's no way we're getting out of this without doing something that. I mean, another guy who didn't win, but he did make the national championship game. I'm super far back, so I mean, I don't know if we're on the same page here, but Jerry West, the logo. Can I? One of my last selections, Jerry West, the logo. West Virginia, he won. He was one of the only players to win most outstanding player of the NCAA tournament without winning the tournament. Lost in the national championship game, but he had 28 and 11 in the final. I mean, 160 total points. in the tournament. So if I'm going off a pick where I literally just took someone who didn't have a big tournament run, someone who made it like all the way, didn't win, was the most outstanding player and had 160 points in his tournament in the national championship game, I'm taking Jerry West, the logo.
We were not on the same page.
Okay.
I thought that you were going to go with somebody else. You have one more pick. Remember, snake draft. So you will have your last.
And I'm staying back there. Like
Oh,
maybe a
you're
little
staying back there. Wow, we're gonna have a heck of an honorable mentions list.
So
Yeah, but there's some greats. You got to respect the game, and a lot of guys, of course, they're going to be good in the NBA if they tear up college. And when you tear up college, you are March. So what are you going to do about it? Like if Bill Russell wins 2 natties, I mean, and has a 20-block game, I'm going to take him.
I have to do this. Literally the only reason that this guy wasn't on this list from the beginning, from day one,
LeBron James.
No. Close though. Very close in that discussion.
Okay, this is where I think this is where I thought you were going when you chose Jerry.
Michael Jordan is my last pick. I had to do it. Depending on who you ask, the GOAT. Obviously, the year that he won the national championship, the only national championship he had out of his 3 years, he was a freshman. He hit the shot. So, I mean, like, if we're gonna take an individual run, it's got to be his second year where they made it back to, I believe, the Final Four. He averaged 20 a game, was an All-American. I mean, like, he's the GOAT of the NBA. We can't leave him off this list. He still had a really great, college run, and I wasn't like the guy the first year, but still hit the shot. And I mean, come on, it's Michael Jordan. So
you got a pretty sweet team. You got some guys with some names on your squad. Yeah, I thought you were going with MJ when you picked Jerry West, but that's good. Hey, snake draft, so it didn't even matter. Yep, MJ hit that game winner, and then there's all those stories. Dean Smith, James Worthy, all of the legends, the coaches on that team, they pretty much asserted and knew that Michael Jordan was the most talented player or the best player on that team. In about 3 days of practice, he just had to earn it through his freshman year, hit that shot. Unbelievable. So, of course, he needed to be on this list. I'm looking at the full-on list now. I have the last pick, so I'm going to list off the honorable mentions because these guys deserve some love, and this draft has gone completely awry. Jimmer Fredette, Chris Webber, Doug Eddert, Thomas Walkup was just a personal favorite of mine. Mario Chalmers, Jack Golke, Glenn Rice, Gordon Hayward, Sindarius Thornwell, who caught the flu. Otherwise, they probably would have won the championship. Aaron Kraft, Frank Kaminsky, Tyler Hansbrough, David Thompson, Trey Burke. There's a couple other guys on this list as well, but this list is so long. Who am I going to have to go with here? Oh, man, my heart wants to say, like, Mario Chalmers and Glenn Rice. I really think that I should go with one of those guys. This team deserves that. Like, Jimmer Fredette also can, like, help my actual squad from a basketball perspective. But with all that being said, man, I gotta go with Glenn Rice. I gotta go with Glenn Rice.
Yeah,
can't do it anything else. Yeah. Great player, obviously. So sometimes you look at a player depending on how they did in the NBA. That's how you judge them. This is strictly March Madness. Give me Glenn Rice. Our teams turned out pretty well, and they look a heck of a lot like the NBA. NBA 75th year anniversary team as well. But that's okay because it's real. I don't think that we made too many missteps on this draft. We'll have to gather our thoughts after this and create what is truly a starting lineup, a rotation. But before we do that, we need to add a youngin and add a coach.
I feel like I should get to go first for the coaches since you
went. Yeah, I was giving that up to you. I was giving it up. You get the youngin and the coach first.
Okay, well then I get back to back here. Sorry, I'm just clarifying.
I mean, yeah, you could just go with both. Yeah, you could just take them both. I mean, we were just gonna go coach, and then I take a coach, and then you take a player. I take a player.
Okay. Well, starting off with the player, I mean, go Duke here. Cooper Flag. I mean, if he can make it back for the NCAA tournament, I don't see why you'd choose anybody else. Obviously, Janai Broom is I don't know who you're going to pick, but is one of the guys to look out for on Auburn. But I mean, Cooper Flag has been dominant all season. He deserves a spot on my team. So, and I mean, he was playing against the big guns in the USA Select game, and he was putting up a show. So I'm taking Cooper Flag even despite the injury.
Yeah, I'm not going to overthink it. I think it's a very similar question that every single year you might ask yourself if the Team USA were to select a player and then have another one come in. I think they take the guy who's most NBA ready or the guy who's going to be the top pick, and then they take the best player in college basketball. It's either one of the two, right? Sometimes they line up, sometimes they don't. Give me Janai Broom. I think he's also like amazing, great player. Maybe he won't play, maybe he will. I mean, we got Bill Russell, Wilt Chamberlain, and Lou Alcindor in the front court, and Anthony Davis. So he probably won't get too many minutes. Neither of these guys, potentially. But that's okay. All right. Take a pick at your coach.
I think there's also pretty two solidified here. The guy who has coached tons of talent in his career, the most talent probably ever, USA head basketball coach for an extended period of time, second most NBA players has ever put in the league. I'm taking Coach K. He's got to be my guy. I mean, he knows how to deal with personalities. He's obviously coached a wide variety of players from LeBron to whoever you want to name. Coach K is got to be the coach here. 5 national championships.
Great pick.
Appreciate you. I double dipped on Duke there.
Yeah, you did double dip on Duke.
Yeah.
Wow, that was a tongue twister. I'm not gonna lie, that come off guard. Okay, and he coached Christian Laettner, so I'm looking at your team. You got a little bit of team chemistry there too, and I gotta respect that. And obviously, he probably has come across Jalen Brunson at some point in his career, I'd imagine, or Shabazz Napier maybe on like a select team. I'm trying to, or Buddy Hield on a select team. KD definitely, as well. So he's got a little bit of chemistry there. So I don't hate it. Obviously didn't coach Cooper Flag, but had Christian Laettner.
Yeah.
Give me John Wooden. He may think that Steph Curry is an actual wizard, but I think he'll respect it. Okay, we need a hard-nosed individual. I mean, if you ask Kareem Abdul-Jabbar what he thinks of John Wooden, it's always amazing stuff. The only really good things. I almost went Rick Pitino, Bobby Knight. I'm going to go old school. We want rings. Best of – actually, it's a one-off against your team, right? Just like March Madness style, right? Anything can happen. Not a best of 7. So give me John Wooden. Got the trophy named after him, so it must be pretty good.
Yeah. You want to do like one final recap of like everyone who we have?
Yeah. Oh man, what a draft this was.
What a draft this was. I think both teams are stacked.
I mean, unbelievably stacked. This would be a much better exercise because you could get to some of the lesser known March Madness players with about 6 people. But yeah, on my team, I got Kemba Walker, Lou Alcindor, Carmelo Anthony, Danny Manning, Magic Johnson, Steph Curry, Anthony Davis, Bill Russell, Wilt Chamberlain, Carson Edwards, Dwayne Wade, Glenn Rice, Janai Broom, and John Wooden to make up my 13-man squad, 12 old, 1 current, and 1 coach. On your squad, Christian Laettner, Bill Walton, Shabazz Napier, Patrick Ewing, Larry Bird, Marquise Noel, Buddy Hield, Oscar Robertson, Jalen Brunson, KD, Jerry West, Michael Jordan, Cooper Flag, and Coach K.
Low-key could have went a different way with the KD pick, but I fumbled that pick, but I feel like the rest of the team's pretty good.
And then you lit fire to this draft. You lit fire to this draft with Oscar Robertson. We should have talked about that. We should have went Bill Walton and on. But regardless, it's over. And I've already mentioned the honorable mentions. Let's get to the college basketball names draft.
Okay.
A lot of funny names, and we're only going to take the top 5. We're going to have a starting 5 of the best names in college basketball. I had the first pick last time. You get the top selection this time.
I don't know if it's the funniest name. I don't know if it's necessarily the best name, but it is the always right name. I'm going always right guard out of Rhode Island. I needed to take him 1-1. Can you go any other way? His name is literally always right. If he's ever losing an argument, what is his name?
He's always right.
It's always right. So guard out of Rhode Island. I mean, shout out, incredible name. It's definitely, there's definitely some funnier names. I think that like objectively there might be some like maybe better names, but I mean 1-1 always right.
With the second overall pick, my team selects Jizzle James. I
Yeah.
was not going to let this man fall to the third round. This is an all-time great name. I have questions, certainly for the family. I do. I really do. But he is on my team and he gets the honor of being the top player on my team. If I had the first overall pick, I would have taken him. So
Yeah,
changes
I
nothing. But
also
always right. I gotta respect it. That's an unbelievable name. This entire list, you will question humanity a little bit and be like, how could these people have these names? All respect to everybody involved, of course. The
yes.
parents and the player with the name.
Of course. Also, I for the context of who Jizzle James is to you, I had to spare him for you, which is why I almost like would have rathered you have gone first because I was never going to take Jizzle James. Pat has a history there, so
Oh, that sounds insane. That
I
sounds insane. I have done a college basketball names draft before. Jizzle James is always the leader of my squad.
yep, understood. Hey,
Let's
so
not
you're
do
good.
this, Snake. You could go
Oh,
ahead.
all right. I mean, childhood show. What can you say about it? Caillou, center out of Liberty. God, that's got to be my one too. I needed a little bit like always right is more of like a serious name. Caillou's like the parents for doing something there. I mean you could one of the good shows growing up. So Caillou, second
For
overall.
anybody curious, that is a first and a last name. That is not just a first name. So his full name is Caillou. Okay, there's a lot of really good ones here.
Mhm.
Po Boy King. I mean, oh my God. And he goes to North Carolina Central, if anybody was curious. So nowhere in Louisiana, but that would have been amazing. Tennessee Rainwater would have been a great pick here. I think so. But I'm gonna go with Supreme Cook.
Okay.
I think it's a very vague name, but it gives me Breaking Bad vibes, and
Yeah.
and you have a lot of pun potential with that. Supreme Cooking downtown, cooking from downtown.
Hmm.
Yeah, I'll take that. I'll take that. I think that's a decent selection. Rounds out my team, gives me some balance because off the top, my team is not exactly family friendly. So give me
Yeah.
Supreme Cook to go with it.
Okay. I see you with Supreme Cook, and I raise you Solo Ball. I I mean the long lost Ball brother, guard out of UConn. I love the name Solo Ball. Come on, it's gas. I like Solo Ball as my third overall pick.
Oh man, now I'm looking at the rest. I'm looking at the rest of this list, and we're gonna leave some really good players off,
We are.
or
I
some really
definitely
good names at least.
yeah.
um, I don't think I don't know if it's crazy to take George Washington the third right here. Like I really don't. At guard Richmond,
It's not.
it give me everything that it comes with. Okay,
Yeah, you got it.
all encompassing, all encompassing. George Washington the third, guard Richmond.
Okay. Uh, I need a little bit
He's
more spice.
royalty, American royalty.
American royalty,
Have
definitely.
some
I mean,
respect,
it
please.
doesn't get much better than George Washington.
Mm-mm.
Um, I see that pick, and I'm like, I need my Jizzle James is great off the top. Need my pick to just get a little bit funnier. Need my team to get a little bit funnier. My fourth overall pick is gonna be Fat Brooks,
Oh, that's just so
guard
absurd.
guard out of Michigan. His name is Fat. Like it Fat Brooks, I'm taking that. I feel like that's one of the more between Always Right and Solo Boy. I feel like I have some pretty like solid names that are like a little bit less funny. Fat is like, come on, Fat's an all time.
So I got, and you got Fat. Okay, cool. I'm gonna write that one down. Make sure you got it. I got Jizzle James. Okay, speaks for itself, I think.
Yep.
Supreme Cook. I think you got the puns there. It's a balanced play, and then I got George Washington the third. I got a little bit of history. And where's George Washington from? I don't know if he's from Virginia. I thought there was a Virginia dynasty. Maybe that did not start with George Washington. Regardless, Delaware maybe would have been better. Who knows? Okay, I got that. I need a little bit of swag. I need like a little bit of something else. You respect it. Oh, when you hear it, oh, you immediately know this player is good. Give me the man with the first name Tennessee, last name Rainwater. That is just an unbelievable name. We're talking about the best names draft. I mean, some are going to be funny, some are going to be really good. His parents did a good job. And that's something I cannot say for everybody on this list when it comes to naming. Give me Tennessee Rainwater.
I'm between two here. I don't want to go another repetitive name. Gob would have been fire, but I need a legend on this team. Give me Legend Jeter. Give it to me. My fifth and final pick. I let forward out of Detroit Mercy. I'm taking Legend Jeter.
So we have not checked the pronunciations on all of these names.
Yeah. So,
my head went to Legend Geeter, but I don't know for sure. Did you check the pronunciation on this one?
No, I didn't. I was hoping it would go also with the fact Derek Jeter, also a legend. Like, come on. Like, I feel like that plays into it a little bit, but I could see Geeter being Legend Geeter. I'll take either. I'll take either one.
Yeah. I think Geeter just makes it sound funnier.
Yeah.
So respect the pick. Great pick. Okay, last one to round out my starting five. Connor Dubsky, I was potentially going to go with him instead of Tennessee Rainwater, but I went a little bit of a different route. Man, Po' Boy King, but I don't have a pronunciation on that. I think it's too risky. I think he's a six man right now. No offense to that guy, okay? And Gob, I don't have a double name. You have Fat. You got the better one. I'm not going to match that up. I can't match that up because I'm not winning. So I got to get Jizzle James, a dynamic duo. Okay. I got to get him Cleron Hornbeak. That is a ridiculous name.
But like, it's the family name that like makes it like, so it's like there's a lot of Hornbeaks in there.
Is there?
It's the family name. So like,
did I sell? Maybe I sold. But I think that's a crazy name.
Cleron is definitely an interesting one as well, but I think Hornbeak definitely makes the name, and there's that's his mom and dad.
That's okay, man. I got George Washington III. That's a president too.
It was the fifth pick. I don't hate it at all. There's definitely some names.
Tony still on the board.
What happened?
Tony, UAB guard still on the board.
Yeah,
I couldn't go double. I didn't want to go Connor Dubsky. I felt like Tennessee Rainwater was better. Don't have pronunciation.
The list that we had, it's probably for double names. It probably was Fat, then Gob, then Tony, in my opinion.
Yeah. And you know what? I should have thought about that before we did it.
Mm-hmm.
I made a mistake.
Happens.
I may have to give it to you on this one. You may have a better opinion than me.
I appreciate that.
Oh man, this one was really fun today. I had a great time. We did the Selection Sunday reaction, all-time March Madness players draft, which got sent into oblivion about midway through the draft, and then the college basketball names draft. I mean, I always enjoy it. There's some crazy names. You can do this essentially with every single sport, right? Like, or at least football, college football. So it was a great time. As always, that's been my host, Andrew Greig. I'm Patrick Previty. We are not ending just yet because we have the Speak Now, Forever Hold Your Peace. I can't believe I didn't write it down on the little rundown thing. But here, you can slide out. Go first.
It's our thing. Speak Now, Forever Hold Your Peace.
I know. I can't believe I'm forgetting it. We've been at it for 48 minutes, and I'm thinking, oh, we're done.
Yeah,
we got that. Yeah. So
I'll keep it quick then. My Speak Now, Forever Hold Your Peace is March being back. Obviously, we mentioned at the top, we've been talking March Madness this whole time. It's officially March. So we have brackets. The smell of March is in the air. I can feel the weekend coming. First four starts in a couple of days. Round of 64, round of 32 is this weekend. It's just good to be back. And I just have like a little bit of a sentimental story, as is. Going into sophomore year of high school, I was a big sports fan in general, but like I was never like super into March Madness. One of my AP teachers in high school allowed me to get out of class and watch March Madness for the full day, like from like 12 p.m. till like when school ended. It was a great time. We did it for days on end. We made like bracket challenges. It was a lot of fun. So just reminiscing on the past, what March was for me in high school, for 3 straight years, just like kind of like skipping out on class towards the later half of the year, and just watching March Madness with one of my favorite teachers. Kind of just a wholesome reminiscent memory. And it just is always around this time of the year, I'm like, it's March. And I just love it. So that's my Speak Now or Forever Hold Your Peace.
I love that too, honestly, because usually it aligns with spring break. But when you got the round of 64 and the round of 32 while you're at school, all you want to do is wait until the games are over. I remember actually coming home on one of the days and then hearing that Duke lost. It was the Jason Tatum Duke team, and they had lost, I believe, I think they maybe got first rounded, or it was in the round of 32. So just great times. You never want to miss a game or anything like that. And just you just love it. But March is an inspirational time. Sam Holtz, who was the 12-year-old who had a perfect bracket way back in the day, about 10 years ago now, proves that you can pass the test without studying. And that should be an inspiration to everybody to fill out a bracket in this March Madness cycle, because you will be kicking yourself if you aren't the one who actually officially gets the $1 billion. So go rob these old rich people who are putting this money up, because it's totally worth it and it's a great time. And win your office pool too, because there ain't nothing wrong with winning that either.
Completely agree. He didn't have a perfect. He just won the ESPN bracket challenge, right?
Oh, did I say perfect?
Yeah.
Well, whatever. I'll take it out. I'll edit it out. Who cares?
Yeah, I mean, I like.
You're right. No. He tied for the top.
Yeah, still a great run though, especially for a kid that I remember. Like, I think I remember watching a video on that story. I don't know if it's the exact same guy. Didn't get the name, but like the guy who just like picked based off like logos and stuff. Was that guy?
Yeah. Sports Illustrated did a little article on him. He was everywhere.
Yeah.
And I thought for the longest time that he only wrote it on a piece of paper. I thought that was his main thing, and that then he was like, "Look, I got a perfect bracket like everybody." And then it was actually he did the ESPN tournament challenge, and it was real, and it wasn't perfect, but it was tied to somebody else, and that was what was so great about it. So I was like, "Oh, okay, well, then I felt inspired, and that's why I wanted to speak now and not hold my peace, I guess, or hold my peace after." But yes, great time today. Great drafts. I'm Patrick Previty. That is Andrew Greig. This has been the Big Little Podcast. We'll see you guys next time.